If you've been following my channel for a long time, you'll know all about my massive LEGO theme park project, which I've been working on for over 6 years. This project includes all 6 Fairground Collection sets, which are a variety of different rides and coasters, including a heavily themed Haunted House drop tower ride, and 2 absolutely massive coasters, including the original roller coaster and the newer loop coaster, both of which have some great functionality and is just really cool sets in general. This park has been a huge project for such a long time and will continue to be developed over the coming years, as I'm currently in the process of doing a massive rebuild of most of the park. You can find the first 2 episodes of that already on the channel. However, there is one thing missing from my LEGO collection, which you may have seen in other YouTube videos, which is a scale model of a real roller coaster. So the first choice I needed to make is, what coaster am I going to build? There's so many different models out there of different coasters that I could make, so I had to pick one that would look good. My current number 1 is Voltron at Europa Park, which seemed like a great idea, and then I realised that the trains are only 4 rows, so whilst it's a really cool train design, it wouldn't be a very impressive model. So I turned to my rankings list to find a suitable coaster to recreate. I had a look at so many different options, including Nemesis Reborn, Wicker Man, and even Icon. But I realised there was only really one option, my personal favourite UK coaster and current number 2, Hyperia. Hyperia had been the first major thrill coaster I had followed the construction of from beginning to end, starting with the first planning permission documents, getting excited over every new update to any document that was on the website, and eventually heading down to Monk's Walk twice to see the construction. On my second visit down there, I even got to see the team working hard on the lift hill supports, which was really cool. And of course, who could forget opening day on May 24th, which was probably one of my favourite park visits ever. The atmosphere was incredible. I got to meet some great people who I knew through Planet Coaster, and I finally managed to ride Hyperia, which instantly became my number 1 coaster and still remains my favourite in the UK. The first step in the process of recreating Hyperia's train was to design the LEGO model, so I could then take all the bricks that were in my digital LEGO model and put them into Bricklink to buy them. I decided I would buy the instructions for the lead car from BrickdeKikker on Etsy, whose models I've seen in other videos on YouTube, and they looked great, very accurate, and I really liked their Hyperia design. The next step after that was to then rebuild the entire lead car in Bricklink's digital building software, Studio. With the lead car and track built, the next step was to figure out how to turn the model, which was just the lead car and its track section, into the full Hyperia train. The full train consists of another 4 cars behind the lead car, each with 2 rows of 2 seats. Unlike other models that BrickdeKikker had made instructions for, bit like Taron, which you can buy both the lead car and extensions, which by the way, that looks absolutely incredible. Hyperia did not have a second set of instructions that I could buy on Etsy to complete the train. This meant I had to take the lead car and modify it so I could have the full train as a model which I could then build. With all the cars ready, I then had to connect them using the connectors that I built into the design of each car. This turned out to be a much more difficult task than I'd expected, as the software seemed to have a major issue with recognising I could connect each car in the way I was planning to. However, once this was done, I now had a full Hyperia train. Before I could import the parts list into Bricklink, I had to actually extend the track segment that I had built from the instructions, so I would have a proper way of displaying the model. I didn't really want to have it resting on the wheels, as I've heard they can be a bit fragile. So I had to make this as short as possible. Obviously, the longer it was, the more bricks I needed, so I had to remove the nice wings that had been put kind of on the base, which I didn't really want to do, but I had to do it. Anyway, once that was done, I then had the incredibly complicated job of putting the train on the track, which took much longer than I had anticipated. However, once this was done, I had a complete model, the full train and its track segment, and I could take all the parts and put them into Bricklink. I then had to use the easy buy function, which would auto select stores, so I'd be able to get all the bricks I needed from as few as possible with the best price. Once this was all done, and it took a bit of time to load because of how many bricks there are, I finally had a final price for all 2,800 or so bricks of... that's quite high.